Alrighty. It's okay if y'all don't want to see this immediately. It's alright. The Devil You Know versus the Devil You Don't. Pretty clear title. I think Americans have heard this phrase, and I'm sure other folks around the world know this. What does it mean? It means you're used to something. That's basically it. It means you're used to something. It doesn't mean you like it. It just means that you're used to the bullshit of it, and you're just like, I'd rather deal with this than deal with that. That's really what it is. That's all it is. The reason why people really fear balkanization or any of these other ideas is not necessarily because they love the system. No, people don't love the system. They're used to it. They're used to the system as it is, and they know it's shit. The difference is that the system, quote unquote, whether it's supplies, whether it's government, whether it's law, the system is changing. You know, well, I hope you are doing well. I hope you are doing well as well. Sorry for lack of originality there, but yeah. And how you doing, Shock Reyes? So that's the whole thing. I've been watching a lot of the stream talking about the Rittenhouse trial. Of course, recently, um, MSNBC sent some stringers basically to try to get photos of the jurors, of the jury. And basically, the judge was like, we're not going to have that anymore. NBC is banned from taking pictures. Now, the thing is, people have said, oh man, based judge and everything. No, he's a coward. The judge is a coward. The judge is somebody who's like, well, I don't know. He has berated the prosecution numerous times, but he's scared of, issues. The defense is garbage. They have not objected enough to the prosecution. It's been awful. Like I say, and some of this has been repeated on Nick Rekieta's stream, this and that. But it's a sign of the devil you know is no longer the devil you know. That's the whole thing. It's no longer that sort of thing where it's like you can expect things to happen a certain way. It's like no, it's thing is that people see with this Rittenhouse trial just how wimpy the system is and how weak the system is, more specifically. Here we are going into day 4 of deliberation because of this activist juror. And it's ridiculous to me. But it speaks to a larger concern of the devil you know versus the devil you don't. People are starting to realize that this system that the system never cared about you. But now it's just much more obvious. Now people, like I said, now you have the wimpy Republicans trying to talk about replacement or white replacement or whatever the thing. No, that already occurred. That already occurred long ago. You're already outnumbered, buddy. Honky, this ain't your country, you know? And I think people need to wake up to that. The reality is that the devil you know doesn't exist, you know? This new radicalism, this sort of accelerationism. Martinez coping somewhere. Oh yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. But the thing is, we see this massive acceleration occurring, whether it's in, environmental issues, whether it is in political issues, whether it's in financial and economic. and supply chain. It's all accelerationist. We are it's like I'm going to put it this way. This is more of a boomer thing, but I'll say it nonetheless. It's like the first Tremors. And for those that remember the first Tremors movie, the good one with Kevin Bacon, he, I mean, the graboid, as a tremor would do, the graboid was under the ground and it found a solid concrete wall. Bang! Knocked its head against the wall. It was screaming underground, hits it again, and kills itself. And that's what we are doing right now. Or we're on a train where the tracks are not connected over a gorge or something like that. And there's no real way. I mean, you can try to hope for the best and jump off. But I think many people, it's like trying to jump off in the desert and realizing that there's no water, there's no food there. And that's what it's like. That's where we are. The devil no longer exists. It's something that we need to realize. At least as Americans. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but I imagine it's equally as cringe. We see Austria, of course, the insanity that has occurred in Austria, the Wahnsinn, as they would say in German anyway. I'm not sure how they would say it in Austrian German, but das ist Wahnsinn. Wahnsinnig. Helle Wahnsinn. With the lockdowns that have occurred. I mean, it's nuts. So we see a world that's on or at least, let me back off the world, but let's say we see a United States that's out of control, that has been so centralized, that is so that is so reliant on these service industries that we really can't survive. And I say this knowing that it's like we're waiting for, a laundry part and it's back ordered because of course the supply problems and we can't get it. So we have a working dryer, but we don't have a working washing. Actually, well, to be honest with you, we have three washers and three dryers. So now we have all three dryers working, but now we have only two washers. So I don't know if that's a good ratio or not, but I guess it's better than what it was, which is two washers and two dryers. But yeah, whatever. This is where we are, you know? And you can either be upset and be angry about it, as I, you know, and just be like, we just see this system kind of slowly. Yeah, when he said that U.S. will be destroyed when he dies, yeah, he's probably correct. Yeah, but I think the U.S. will just kind of implode. And I think as much as people want, they want to reform the system. The reformers are still going to be out there. The reformers who say we need CRT because we still want to remain Americans, but we just need to teach about slavery and we need to teach about racism and how white people are bad. If we just do that, then we can remain a country. It's like it's not going to happen that way. It's not. But there are enough fools out there who believe it. That's their problem. You know, reality is going to smack them. It's going to smack them hard. You know, it's going to smack all of us. So it just depends on if some of us are emotionally compromised or if we're just numb. I mean, I say that being numb. I was going to try to find a segue, and this is the closest thing, but there are some guys who are replacing a or excuse me, a mirror frame, and they drilled into a water line. It was a PEX line, streaming out water. Um, I go downstairs, and it's like a flood in the office. Oh my goodness, it was just, and I wanted to be angrier, but I just couldn't muster it. I genuinely could not muster the anger to be there. I genuinely cannot. I couldn't muster it. I mean, I'm not praising being numb, although I kind of am, but that's kind of what America is at this point, where the everything's just flooding, and all you can do is just kind of, well, what do we do about it? And that's the point we've come to. Nobody really wants to fix the big problems. They just think somehow, man, that infrastructure bill is going to be great, bro. It's like, no, people, it's okay. It's money. Okay, you're throwing money at the problem. You have to get competent people to do it, though. That's the whole thing. And that probably is not going to be done. And this is, once again, you have to remember, this infrastructure bill is over the course of 10 years, and the plumber's on vacation. Oh, absolutely. Better yet, the plumber has retired, probably. Not even on vacation, he's retired, and says, "Yeah, you're the new," and gives the thing to his son who's half blind or something like that, who can't see in the dark. I mean, I don't know, or he's just drunk all the time. Who knows? But it's like that's really what it is, you know. Um, I don't like I say, a well managed decline. It absolutely is. It is a well managed decline. It is. They are just trying to suck as much as they can out of it. I think that there are folks who really think that they can just save up money or save up NFT or save up crypto or whatever. But it's like it doesn't matter how much crypto you have if the internet no longer works. If the internet no longer works the way it does, if computers no longer work the way that they do, then it's all just a fucking thumb drive that's useless, that's sitting in your pocket or sitting in your house, right? I mean, that's my take on it anyway. I mean, I'm not necessarily anti crypto, but I think that it's just one of those things that it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's managed for them at the top. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's where we are. And it's tiring. I mean, I showed that, I uploaded that video about the difference between Alex Jones then versus Alex Jones relatively now. I think it was probably in the past couple weeks, but your candy ass church ain't gonna do nothing, this and that, you know, y'all gonna get raped by, they're gonna rape your wives. I don't divide and conquer until there's nothing left. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the nihilism runs deep. And I've played the nihilism card. I've played the nihilism card plenty on this channel. But that's where we are. And I don't know where it's going to take us or what we're going to do. There are plenty of folks who are just going to fall into crime. Probably will be me. But yeah, old school Alex was better. Yeah, but that's where we are. A lot of folks are going to become lumpen proletariat. They're going to be robbing, stealing. They're going to be joining gangs and whatnot. And it's going to be, a mess. I was going to say anarchy, but no, of course, there's going to be some anarchists who's going to be like, actually, proper anarchy is like this. Shut the fuck up. That's why I'm not going to use, I don't even want to use the word anarchy anymore. It's been so misused. Proudhon was a mistake. God damn. I mean, I was skeptical, but I realized balkanization is the only way. Yeah, running through the woods of Bohemian Grove, the good old days. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing is, I mean, Alex Jones. has been beaten down a lot. As far as I know, I mean, he's lost his kids. He's lost the case at that Sandy Hook thing. He's been kicked off YouTube, of course, and all this. He's got his own site, but it's like he's lost a lot. And he promoted January 6th, and then he was like, "Come on, guys, we got to be peaceful, bro." And it's just, he took the meat. He took the L. We see this Ahmaud Arbery case. I'm sure he has his own taste, but we see just how bad it's going to get. We see the Rittenhouse case and how bad it already is. The defense. I mean, I'm repeating something that Ricada and all those folks have already said, but it's like it's garbage. Whether it's the defense not standing up for him, standing up for Kyle Rittenhouse, the prosecution woefully taking things out of context, the judge being a pussy, and of course the media who has taken and has jiggled the lens so much that nobody knows what it actually is. How do you think the Rittenhouse case will go? I personally think it's going to be a mistrial. I really do. I think it's going to be like a mistrial, and then they're going to try to do it again. That's my opinion, anyway. I really don't think, and this is my take anyway. I have not watched any of the riot footage because I'm kind of over the riot porn for now. But I think a lot of the riot stuff that's going on right now in Kenosha is all astroturf. But it's not. There's one guy out there, as far as I know, that had his strap that was like pro Kyle. The rest of it is just LARPing. It's just all bullshit for people to pretend like it's Portland. Portland battle number 3002. But yeah, that's my take. And he has to play a second or third fiddle to Tim Beanie Man Pool humiliating. Yeah, exactly. Mm. And to people like Joe Rogan. Yeah, that's where we are. Like I say, I wish that there was some white pills or some sort of news out there. All I can really tell you, the only white pill, in my opinion, is just it's going to happen sooner than later. I would say. I mean, it could happen. I'll put it this way: there's a strong likelihood code for it could happen within our lifetime, but it may not. So I want to cover my ass. There's a strong likelihood that the collapse could happen because I think that, like I say, you know, we've seen so much occur, and yeah, the thing is though is that there were halfway intelligent people who were able to pull the fat out of the fire, but there's nobody, at least on the horizon or anything, that's really willing to, or even smart enough to really pull ourselves out. I really don't think Janet Yellen, for all the whatever you want to say, has the ability to do that. You know, there's no there's no CCC, there's no Reich labor service ready to employ people. No, they just don't care. The system doesn't care. They just don't. They would rather just have you starve or to keep you entertained enough. That's the whole thing. There was at least a there was at least a we pretend to care about you sort of sense. There's a sense of the system at least wanting to pretend to care about us. Now the mask is off. We have seen, we see people, of course, even CNN, came out with a scathing article apparently, and I was reading some of it about Kamala Harris and the drama she's caused in the White House. We see a system that is barely hanging on, barely, just by fingertips, by fingernails, digging in deep, and a huge chasm. And I think some people are beginning to look down at that chasm and they say, should I just let go? Now, of course, I don't advocate for suicide, and I don't advocate for people to simply give up. What I will say, though, is find like minded people to the best of your ability. It's not easy. I'm not saying that it's even possible right now, but you're going to have to find those groups, find your Männerbund. I know I've talked some shit about that. I think I'm sure I've said it, but find that and click up, you know? That's all I really have. That's the only real white pill I have is that find like-minded people, find people that are willing to, make do, you know, and avoid the larpers. I mean that's my advice, man. Like I said, the United States, I don't know. I just do a video. United States, I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm pretty well talked out. I've repeated several points, which as boomers do, as old men like me do. But man, it's not pretty. That's all I can tell you. It's not pretty. It's there just really isn't a real future in all this, in my opinion. There's no real future in all this. But yeah, sorry for the dead air. I think I'll just go ahead and wrap it up. I hope y'all enjoyed this very depressing stream. All I can tell you is make your deals, forget about the past and just look towards whatever future you got. As dystopian as it is, look forward to that. You know, take as much from the system as you can, and just be ready to go from there. See you later. Goodbye.